Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. At Red African TV, we celebrate nothing but Black African excellence. Today's video will be a short biography on the formidable Ma Charlotte Maxeke of South Africa. Please feel free to watch some or all of the other videos about the greatness of Africa and the women who claim her as home. Thank you as always for watching, and let's get started with the video. Ma Charlotte Maxeke was born Charlotte Makgomo Mane on the 7th of April 1874. With some reports claiming she was born in Ramakgopo in Polokwane, the Limpopo province of South Africa, while others claim she was born in Fort Beaufort in the Eastern Cape province, also in South Africa. These conflicting information is due to her name being native to the Sotho and Pedi people of Polokwane. However, Ma Charlotte wrote in Xhosa, which may be attributed to her growing up in Port Elizabeth in the Eastern Cape. Ma Charlotte attended her schooling at Edward Memorial School in the Eastern Cape in the early 1880s, and after her studies, her family moved to Kimberley post the discovery of diamonds, where she became a teacher. In 1891, she and her sister Katie joined the African Jubilee Choir and toured England for 2 years. It was during this time that Ma Charlotte grew uncomfortable with being viewed as unusual and somewhat unsure for European entertainment because she was different. She at this time attended speeches by Emmeline Pankhurst and others who advocated for the right for women to vote. Ma Charlotte went on another tour with the African Jubilee Choir to the USA in order to fund her aspirations to further her studies. The tour unfortunately collapsed and led Ma Charlotte to remain in the States, where she studied at the Wilberforce University in Cleveland, Ohio, under the African Methodist Church Scholarship. While studying, Ma Charlotte arranged for South African Black students to study at the Wilberforce University too. She graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree, making her the first Black South African woman to graduate with a degree. Ma Charlotte returned to South Africa in 1901 and the African Methodist Episcopal Church of South Africa with the help of the Ethiopian Church, where she became the organizer of the Women's Might Missionary Society in Johannesburg. She later moved to Polokwane, where she tried to start a school funded by Chief Ramakgopa, which was unfortunately also incomplete due to a lack of funding and support from the government. She gained the accolade of the first African teacher in Petersburg and founded the Wilberforce Institute, which served as a primary and secondary school in Everton. She was also the head teacher at Lotha High School in the Eastern Cape in 1926. Taught in Timberland in the Transkei under King Dalindyebo. During her time in the Transkei, she participated in the King's Court, a position predominantly reserved for men. Ma Charlotte was one of the first person to accept an invite from the South African Ministry of Education regarding matters of African education and was offered various racially boundary crossing positions from the then white government. Another first from the white government. In 1912, she attended the launch of the South African Native National Congress, the predecessor of the African National Congress, better known as the ANC, and primarily wrote on social and political positions of women in a newspaper called Umthetheleli Wabantu, which translates into the mouthpiece of the people. Ma Charlotte was opposed to passes for Black women and was instrumental in organizing the anti-pass movement in Bloemfontein in 1913. She went on to establish the Bantu Women's League of the South African Native National Congress in 1918. During her leadership at the Bantu Women's League, she led a delegation to the Prime Minister Louis Botha regarding issues of passes for women. She was actively involved in various protests around women issues and took part in the foundation of the Industrial and Commercial Workers Union in 1920. Ma Charlotte was involved in multiracial movements. She was part of the Joint Council of European and Bantus. She addressed the Women's Reform Club in Pretoria and was elected as president of the Women's Missionary Society. Ma Charlotte established an employment agency for Africans in Johannesburg and was the first Black woman to become a parole officer for young offenders. She was pivotal in the founding of the National Council of African Women in 1928. She was honored as the mother of Black freedom in South Africa with an African National Congress Nursery School named after her in Tanzania, the Charlotte Maxeke Academic Hospital named after her in Johannesburg, as well as a street in the cities of Tshwane, Pretoria, Durban in the eThekwini municipality, and Bloemfontein being named in her honor. There is a statue of her that stands in Pretoria Gardens, and Ma Charlotte unfortunately passed away in 1939 at the tender age of 65. We can applaud for Ma Charlotte for her contribution and selflessness towards the plight of women and Africans in general. One of her famous quotes that can be found at the Charlotte Maxeke Academic Hospital in Johannesburg reads as follows: "This work is not for yourselves. Kill that spirit of self, and do not live above your people, but live with them. If you can rise, then bring someone with you." Charlotte Maxeke, born 7 April 1874 and passed 16 October 1939. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you at the next one. Bye.